Is AI going to take your job? Everywhere you look, someone is either telling you everything is fine or telling you the apocalypse is coming. The reality is neither one of those, and I think both extremes are doing people a disservice. Today I'm giving you the honest, no-spin answer to this question. What's actually happening with AI and employment right now? Which jobs are genuinely at risk? Which ones aren't? And most importantly, what you should actually do about it, regardless of where you stand. Let's start with some honesty. This is not a simple question. The people who say AI won't take any jobs are wrong. The people who say AI is going to replace most human workers in the next 5 years are also wrong, or at least severely oversimplifying. What's actually happening is nuanced, and nuance is exactly what you need when you're thinking about your career and your future. Here's the framework I want you to use. AI doesn't replace jobs, it replaces tasks. Almost every job is a collection of tasks. Some of those tasks AI can do better and faster than a human. Some of those tasks AI cannot do at all. The question isn't whether AI will replace your job title, it's whether it will replace enough of the tasks in your job that the remaining work doesn't justify a full-time employee. In some cases, that threshold is getting crossed. In most cases, it's not, yet. But the distribution is shifting, and understanding where you land in that spectrum is important. Let me be direct about which categories of work are genuinely under pressure from AI right now. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. First, high-volume, pattern-based cognitive work. This includes things like data entry, basic document processing, routine report generation, and standard form filling. These tasks are being automated at high rates right now, not just theoretically but practically. Companies are already deploying AI to handle this work and reducing the headcount needed for it. Second, first draft content creation at scale. Entry-level copywriting, generic blog posts, basic graphic design, simple social media content management. The market for purely execution-focused content work is contracting. Clients who used to pay a junior copywriter to produce basic content are now using AI and keeping one senior editor instead. That junior role is disappearing faster than people want to admit. Third, routine customer service and support. First-level customer service, answering common questions, processing returns, basic troubleshooting, is being handled by AI chatbots at an accelerating rate. The humans who remain in customer service are handling escalations and complex situations, not volume. Fourth, certain elements of financial analysis, legal research, and medical diagnosis. These professions aren't going away, but the research analyst who used to spend a day pulling together a market report that took 15 hours can now do it in 2 hours with AI. That creates pressure on headcount, even if the profession itself survives. Now here's the other side, and this is equally important. There are large categories of work where AI is simply not competitive with humans and isn't going to be for a long time. Skilled trades. Electricians, plumbers, HVAC technicians, welders, carpenters. You cannot automate the work of someone who has to physically show up, assess a unique situation, use their hands, and solve a problem on site with no two jobs exactly alike. The robotics technology needed to replace skilled tradespeople is decades away from being economically viable for most applications. These careers are extremely resilient. Complex human relationships and care. Therapists, nurses, social workers, teachers. Yes, AI can provide information and guidance. But humans in emotional distress don't want to be comforted by a machine. The therapeutic relationship, the bedside manner, the genuine human presence in moments that matter, that's not replaceable. Creative direction and strategy. AI can execute creative work at a high level. It cannot reliably set the creative strategy, understand the cultural moment, or take full creative ownership of a vision. The senior creative who knows what the brand stands for and why, that human judgment is still essential. Sales and high-stakes negotiation. Closing complex deals, building long-term client relationships, negotiating contracts. These require emotional intelligence, reading people, and building trust over time. AI assists salespeople enormously. It doesn't replace them. Entrepreneurship and innovation. Starting companies, finding product market fit, leading organizations through uncertainty. These require the uniquely human capacity to operate comfortably in ambiguity and make high-stakes bets. AI is a tool for entrepreneurs, not a replacement. Here's what the economic data is showing right now, rather than the theoretical projections. What we're seeing is a productivity surge in many professions, not a mass replacement. Workers with AI tools are doing more. One copywriter with Claude can produce what 3 copywriters without it used to produce. That means companies need fewer copywriters, but it doesn't mean all copywriters are unemployed. It means the best ones are more valuable and the lower skill ones are squeezed out. This pattern, fewer but more valuable workers in a category, is what we're seeing across multiple industries. It's not mass unemployment, it's competitive pressure. The floor of what you need to be capable of is rising. If you were coasting on being average at a task that AI can now do well, that's a real problem. If you're above average at your work and you're willing to augment it with AI, you're in a better position than ever. The other pattern, new jobs are emerging. AI trainers, prompt engineers, AI workflow designers, AI ethics reviewers, AI customer success managers, roles that didn't exist 3 years ago, are now hiring. The labor market is transforming, not collapsing. Here's the nuanced point that I think is actually the most important one. AI isn't going to take your job. A person using AI might take your job. The real threat to most workers isn't AI directly. It's that your competition is now augmented by AI. And if you're not augmenting yourself with the same tools, you're falling behind in relative capability. The worker who uses AI to do twice as much work at the same quality level as you is a real competitive threat. This is the framing that should actually change your behavior. Not, will a robot replace me, but is someone else going to make me look slow and expensive by comparison? In almost every profession, the answer to that question is yes, if you don't adapt. And the good news is that adapting is entirely in your control. Learning these tools is accessible, often free or low cost, and doesn't require a technical background. Here's the practical action plan, regardless of your profession. First, audit your tasks. Write down the 5 to 10 main things you do at work. Then honestly ask, could AI do a decent version of this? Not a perfect version, a decent one. The tasks where the answer is yes are the ones where you need to either add more human value or learn to use AI to do them faster so you maintain your efficiency advantage. Second, get curious about the AI tools in your specific field. Every industry has emerging AI tools now. If you're in finance, there are AI tools for financial analysis. If you're in law, there are AI tools for legal research. If you're in medicine, there are AI tools for diagnostics. Find out what exists in your field and start experimenting. You don't need to master everything. You need to not be ignorant. Third, invest in the skills that AI genuinely can't replicate well. Critical thinking, complex communication, emotional intelligence, creative judgment, physical skilled work. These are your insurance policy. Fourth, don't wait for your company to train you. The people who will thrive in the AI transition are the ones who proactively taught themselves. The people who are struggling are the ones waiting for someone else to tell them what to do. Take ownership of your own skill development. Fifth, if you're considering a career change, favor trades and human-centric work. If you're early in your career and choosing a direction, the data strongly supports skilled trades and human-centric professions as being more resilient to AI disruption than many desk jobs. That's worth factoring in. Let me zoom out for a second because I think context matters here. Every major technological shift in history has been accompanied by fear that jobs would disappear and society would collapse. The printing press, the Industrial Revolution, the computer, the internet, each one displaced some categories of work and created entirely new categories. The people who thrived through those transitions were not the ones who ignored the change or the ones who panicked and gave up. They were the ones who understood what was happening, adapted their skills, and found where the new opportunities were. We are in one of those transitions right now. AI is genuinely significant. The disruption is real, and the opportunity for people who respond intelligently is also real. The worst thing you can do is nothing. So, is AI going to take your job? Maybe some of the tasks in your job, yes. Your entire job? For most people, not anytime soon. But the version of your job that exists in 5 years will look different than it does today, and the people who do it well will look different too. Understand the landscape, learn the tools, add the human value that AI can't. That's the honest answer and the honest action plan. Subscribe to Node Pulse for more clear-eyed takes on how AI is actually changing the world. No hype, no doom, just honest analysis. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.